yesterday was the standout for me.
Roy was great, wasn't he?
Yeah, Acor was good,
Yeah.
but we knew that we'd already highlighted him. Roy yesterday really stood out.
All right, then. Semi-finals underway. Best of 3 here. This is the pick of Mad Lions. Mousesports starting on the CT side. We are going to have an A approach here and aggression from Frozen. Bubsky will get that first kill, but Carrigan fighting tooth and nail with the USP, but the split is absolutely ruthless here. But so are the headshots coming through from the Glocks and the P2000. It's actually going to be a 3 versus 1 now, as Mad Lions will be up against Rops. Now, he is capable of winning these sort of rounds, but he is the B player, and it's going to be a long rotation as he comes in from that A ramp.
Rob's trying desperately to find an opening. Pull him down. He's the only one left. 1 on 3, and they were both staring directly at him, so Hunden finds the kill easily. And 1-0 for Mad Lions. T-side start and the pistol in their favor. Not a bad position to be in on Vertigo.
Just a straight-up hard push towards the A site, and you saw Mousesports ready for it. 3 players there, challenging and swinging, just couldn't connect.
And we saw Mousesports already play this map in this event, and we know that Robs likes to flank. So the fact that they've already spotted him on the pistol round, it's a little more common because people run with the pistols a little more aggressively than you might with rifles. You can't hold the same angles, so they might have expected it sooner, but the fact that he's already been seen once doing that, he may not be able to get away with it quite so many times. As Carrigan faces down the ramp, makes contact at the bottom side of T entrance. Bubsky, meanwhile, already inside of the smoke, is just spraying and hoping that there's someone on the receiving end.
Well then, force buy here from Mousesports. We have got the Desert Eagles and a couple of kills coming in favor of Mad Lions. Here we have brought the B-bomb site under their control. Mad Lions looking very comfortable. There's 1 smoke. There is a kid available, but I don't think many kills will be coming into fruition. There's 1 for Carrigan, but he's so low. Should be getting dropped here. Acor to close things out. They fend off the force buy, no problem. Has to be the underwhelming round at this point. USPs, maybe a couple of P250s, no armor, and that's a big one for Mad Lions to pick up. Like, those aren't easy rounds against Mousesports. They've got some of the hardest hitting Deagle players in the game right now. Rops and Frozen especially, like, insane with the weapon.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt about the fact that Frozen has aim. Rops has shown that from day 1 when he was brought into this lineup. That's the crazy thing about Mousesports. They were in a position similar to where Hellraisers were for a long time, but in a position where they had nothing to lose. They brought in Rops, had a great year, and then for all sorts of different reasons decided to change up the roster, and they do it again. They bring in another young talent and take a risk on it, which is, you'd think with one guy that's still stabilizing himself, that's a huge gamble. Paid off with him. I mean, Frozen's turned out to be an excellent player as well. Of course, going to take down Carrigan this time, so Mad Lions already starting once again on the better foot, and that's expected still against pistols.
To that note, though, I feel like when you found a player that you know has got the potential in terms of raw talent, and he hasn't been tainted by other in-game leaders, maybe Carrigan likes that prospect and molding him and how the player he wants him to be.
That's the other side of it, is that Rops didn't have Carrigan there as the in-game leader when he came in, and he was still remarkable. Frozen does, so you could almost expect that Rops might continue on this fragging style, but Frozen might become more fundamental in many ways.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how that pan out, because there's so many brilliant players within Mousesports. Like Chris J, what an amazing 2019 he had as well. Like he's somehow getting better the older he gets. He's maturing like a fine wine, it seems. As we'll see a rotation over towards the B side of the map. You can see a couple of kills potentially available here from Mousesports. They've recovered a UMP. That's in the hands of Rops. He's got a Molotov as well with the Desert Eagle. And that Molotov going down, this actually could get a little bit spicy. We'll see the plant come in behind the generators here. Hunden's low as well. This could actually fall apart. It goes down to the 1 versus 1. Frozen up against Roy here, but he's got a huge advantage with that AK. Wasn't the cleanest of sprays. He goes down to low HP, but he wins the round. That's all that really matters.
I thought he was going to struggle. The spray was all over, and the P250 was actually getting decent shots.
We lost a player in the process there as well. All sorts of things going on, but yeah, that almost fell apart.
They did smoke off. They obviously had someone come in and do this last night. It looks well done. They had someone come in and actually vinyl the window and smoke it off. So we can't see the players, but also our TV is. They had it angled yesterday. I'm quite certain. I went over and stood there that they couldn't see it, but they took no chances today. So I was going to look over and tell you. Well, we can see it's Hunden now, but I was going to look over and get an update.
You could lie down. You could have a little.
I could lie down. Under there. I don't know if I want to be under the desk. I don't know what I'm going to see under there.
Well, here is a technical issue, I'm afraid. I would like to get them out of the way early. It will be something pretty easy to fix, I'm sure. There's Froze at the end next to Carrigan. Boxic in the middle. Faces I'm sure you're all familiar with towards the end of last year, managing to pick up about 4 trophies. One most notable was Pro League, of course. Ridiculous scenes there. Remarkable, really. Coming back, and it looked like it was going to be a rough tournament for them, and then this went all the bloody way. And managed to win BTS as well with a stand-in.
Yeah,
somehow.
and I already saw a stand-in and a coach in the last game because they had to get on the flight to get to the next destination so quickly that there was no time to sit and wait. that was the schedule last year. That's how brutal it was, and in some ways a bit ridiculous that is the case.
Yeah, they had to go to Epicenter, and Carrigan didn't have a visa.
So he had to fly out early from the previous event in order to get to Epicenter, which is, that is ridiculous.
I feel like we're going to avoid that this year. I feel like we learned a lot of lessons in 2019, and the teams are going to start saying no. But the thing is, like, so many teams came out of the woodwork at the beginning of 2019. They started getting loads of invites. They were kind of loving the fact that there's so much money available, these great tournaments. They were getting
and
deep
if you're
runs.
a team that's not, like, let's say a franchise team such as, well, Astralis, Liquid, Fnatic, the guys that get those invites normally, you've got to take what you get when you're that new. And I can see why a lot of them overloaded their schedule in that way. Mousesports for me as well. I mean, they come off a great 2018 with the previous lineup, even winning New York with Snacks, and then they made these massive changes. I thought, okay, you guys were already kind of overachieving. You were already the underdogs that were at the top.
Yeah.
You can't possibly do that twice. And look at what Kerrigan's done with this team. So it's pretty impressive.
You can't argue with him, can you? Like, you say what you want about his fragging ability in terms of the top tier of CS, but the teams he's built and what he's done, and whenever he departs those lineups and how they kind of fall apart very, very quickly indeed, like, he's worth his weight in gold. It's similar to Hunden, I suppose. They're kind of similar. They're both from Denmark, both similar kind of in-game lead styles, and they build great teams. It's surprising. Hunden hasn't been given some big offers for like North or anything like that, right? You feel like they need someone like him after MSL's come back. I guess that was that.
You would think so. To your Kerrigan point about FaZe, it's taken this long for them to get back on the road. I mean, they're looking excellent right now. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, the next major is going to mean so much. Does Astralis just win it again and set another record? Is that really going to happen, or do we finally get a Nico or a Simple into the winners column of a major?
I feel like if anyone's going to contend for it, will be FaZe at this point. What I've seen right now, Liquid just don't seem ready for it, but FaZe certainly do. They've been putting in the hard work as well. Well then, a finish here for the Mad Lions, currently up 3-0. It's their map pick. Dust 2 coming up next as well. And for now, just going through the motions here, seeing whether they can get that control of the A ramp. Actually falling back towards B here, so they've realized there's no CT aggression towards the ramp or scaffolding. That means they have no vision. They don't really know what's on the other side. So now back into a contact play at B. Shush will be leading the charge and making sure there's no close range CTs. But the flashbang's coming through. Pop flash from Chris J to enable them to get a bit of intel because they're lacking it all over the map. Rob's will be the one to check it out. Nice work. That's such a great little play there. Good HE to follow up as well. Does a nice bit of damage. Drops the smoke and he knows they're coming.
Flash wide as well to slow them down so they couldn't run by. Molotov's going to spill down. Oh, it's not.
He knows that.
That's amazing that it doesn't even go that far. He's able to sit directly under it. The second Molotov clears close corner, but he still has the angle. He knows they're going to wrap around eventually, so he's trying to hold and be patient. His teammate behind him, both in the form of Voxic and Chris J, can cover the close encounters when they're running through the main entrance. Bit of backpedaling from Mad Lions as they consider going elsewhere. Bomb's been dropped. Shush wants to go for the entry and not have that drop down and be a problem for them. Rops goes wide, finds the second player in line. Shush is able to trade it, but as I said, Kerrigan and Voxic were already in position and they make no mistake.
Nice reactive play there from mousesports. As we noted, it was Mad Lions that got full ramp control at that point and had to scaffold him, and the CDs had to fall right back in the crossfires on the bomb site. Mousesports do play a very passive style towards A. It's normally Carrigan who's holding out the back boxes by the boost, allowing them to walk in and then dropping utility on them when they commit. When they lost that information, they had to kind of adjust. They had to work out where they're going to be finishing up towards. That flashbang over towards B enables Robs to get the first frag, do a boatload of damage with the nade as well, slow them down, gets 2 kills in total. And just a nice note as well, he has watched their demos. He knows that Molotov doesn't spill down, so he can sit there, and we'll have another aggressive play from Robs this time. Not as successful. Shush with the first couple of frags in that Galil.
Shush will push forward, continue to try and take ground away from the CTs as they rotate back over the site, desperate to try and deny a bomb plant that looks inevitable at this point. Certainly it is. Frozen's alive and the only one to be alive on Mouse's side, has 7 HP. So he'll try and save. Great response from Mad Lions. This will give them a 4-1 score. Having just lost the first gun round, Mousesports couldn't add to that total and will be left with very little money. Will still be a 3rd round bonus. Remember, you start with 1 additional, so a 3rd round bonus and reasonable economy considering you've got 1850 on Kerrigan, 1900 Rops, 2350 for Voxic. You keep this 1 M4 in the picture and you might have a chance at forcing in the next round. If this goes down though, and again 7 HP, could be a bigger problem. It's a tough map to save on, isn't it? Because you never really know where everyone's going to come from. There's so many different access points when it's open.
And the sound is a little bit jarring as well at times. There's so much going on around you, sort of raw 3D space here. Yeah, it definitely is a difficult one to save on. But he will do it, and it's going to be Frozen to save the M4. They're going to get $2,400 per player on top of that. As you mentioned, they had, 1,800 on a few of them, so there should be a relatively strong buy here. You can see the rifles across the board. No real compromises here. We don't have a Voxic AWP yet, but he is amazing with the rifles as well. Like that, he's the full package, this kid. So
thankfully, Frozen saving the last round. Okay, they can force into this. They don't have a ton of utility. They've got decent smokes, but he has a kit that he carried over. They wouldn't have had one otherwise. So that is important also.
Well, here we go then, that deep smoke just to deny the initial rush. Carrigan with the silenced M4, allowing to fire off some speculative shots through the smoke. No damage landed just yet, though. It's Frozen, again, passive from the CT side. They're allowing them to have this scaffold control. Still a very difficult angle to get up there. As we'll see, Shush, he was managing to break open the B-side with just a Galil. $1,800 rifle. Got himself 2 kills previously. Voxic to open things up this time. That's Bubsy going down, the star rifler of Mad Lions, who are currently up 4-1 here. Big round for mousesports. Need to start stabilizing their economy, get that AWP out if possible. But now maintaining the man advantage.
Frozen backs away, flames at his feet. He'll extinguish those to try and hold his ground. His teammate Kerrigan on top of triple, trying to spot the gap. Does see one, but can't get the headshot. Needs to be careful as well. He can fall off and reload, but want to get the timing right. They're rushing up. They'll close a lot of distance. Thankfully, Kerrigan has swung wide. He's pushed back through the smoke on his own, and a second kill, the second of which being the bomb, is massive for mousesports because now it looks like a 4-2 score, and it is. Frozen's going to sneak around and find Acor. Have a full buy this time, certainly, but there is still decent money. I think I saw Hundon with 5,200 going into this round for Mad Lions.
Solid round there from mousesports. Carrigan getting a couple of cheeky kills through the smokes there. Like I said, he likes to sit on the bomb site itself. When the AWP comes out, that's when Voxic can start to be a little bit more agile around the map. He can start taking challenges towards the A ramp, towards middle, towards B. That's where he really thrives, but until they can bring the weapon out, which is right now actually, it'll be a little bit more passive. So up against a forced buy from Mad Lions here, just trying to cause a dent if they can. It's Shush once more towards B. Robs is having a rough time over there. Keeps getting a bullet to the head. And do they want to commit off this quickly or wait for the reactive play once again? When we saw this before, mousesports would be pushing the other side of the map after losing control. It seems like a full-on commitment here. At least they're sending Shush in, and we'll fall back to boost in towards that window. It's a bit of a fake here, perhaps. He's trying to pull rotations over with one player here. Oof. He's hitting some shots today, isn't he?
Yeah, he's looking super solid. So Chris traded out. Frozen's locked out of the site, can do nothing to deny the bomb plant.
This is a great call from Mad Lions. Like, this is really convincing. That's how you do a fake.
Yeah, I was ready for the bomb to be going down on B, and then it was suddenly there.
That was like, it was difficult for even us to keep up. Like, imagine what it's like for mousesports. You've lost the opening pick. There's a wall of smokes towards B. There's 2 players coming through. You have no vision at A. Like, that seemed like it was an all-in commitment.
Voxic sneaks his way back toward the site, pre-scoped, so he's ready to fight. Interestingly, considering the economy, I think he was also aware there was going to be a player over there, but wanted to save at the same time. He gets caught out for it. Now the money's there again. They could force. So I was going to say now it's a little bit more of a tough call, considering Frozen's only on 25.50. Mad Lions are looking excellent so far on Inferno. I was going to say Inferno again. Vertigo, excuse me.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Right. We haven't seen Inferno very much this event, to be honest.
No, and if we have, it's been like the second map pick of someone. It hasn't even been the third. Like, a few teams have just been trying to force it. But yeah, you're right. We haven't seen it too much. I guess people maybe
normally the most
a little bit over
played. Yeah, I guess. I've seen Mirage.
I guess it gets to the point like Mirage was played so much from like 2015 to 2017, but then every team started playing it the exact same way, and it stopped evolving. And now, since everyone's kind of got the Astralis meta of just like those dominating nades towards B, and everyone's doing the exact same thing in that regard, maybe they feel like it's every team plays it the same way. Everyone's got the same understanding for it. It's not really a specialist map anymore. Maybe they just want to stay away from it. I don't know. Well, we've got the AWP for Acor here. Oof, felt like there was an initial kill available. Fires off a shot. And this is the eco, I guess, apart from Chris J, who's gone in for Hero M4. No kit, no nades, but we'll see what he can do with it. Robs again, the opening kill from Shush. He's had his number 3 or 4 times now.
Watch the play from Roy. This is a decent position to be in. Shadow doesn't even need to make the jump. He already holds B just by standing there. Bubsky's got Chris down. Mad Lions looking to go up 6-2. Not done just yet. It's a 3-on-2 situation, and Kerrigan does have an AWP to work with. No kit, no armor, no utility, but he's already found Bubsky. He'll stay on the AWP. Why go to the rifle with aim punch being such a factor? Go for the one shot. And he's going to try and sneak around and pinch Roy, who's pushing forward again. Again, we saw him toward the catwalk already, holding at spawn. Hunden's caught out Kerrigan. Missed chance.
That was it. The only chance they had of winning this round. If Kerrigan hits that shot, Frozen can come out at CT spawn. They would have had a really decent chance of it, but not going to happen. It was still a decent eco round. Remember, Chris J did invest the majority of his finances into that one. He has 2,500 left over right now. That's SMG territories like UMP. Kevlar has gone for the CZ instead to stack up on grenades. Went for the helmet as well and the defuse kit, the only player with a defuse kit there. So here are the odds provided by GG.bets. You can see mousesports actually not the favorites at this point. It's going to be Mad Lions, who are turning a lot ahead this tournament, but not hitting them apparently, at least initially. It will be Shush, though, to find Robs once again, Matt. This is kind of insane. He's got the opening pick on him, I think, 6 times now.
Six going to try and sneak it back. It is. Rops is definitely going to start being annoyed by this.
And the thing is, as well, it's such a rough position to play, because normally you don't get any action whatsoever. Now you're trying to be a little bit more active. Oh, dear. Kerrigan will find a response frag, but he does consistently go down. Might want to reel it in a little bit towards B. 4-on-4, though.
You can see them getting toward the top of the elevator that time, dropping back down. It's proximity through the wall toward A. You can get sound cues for if the CTs are pushed up, but that time the AWP still found the shot. As I mentioned that, because the second scope from Kerrigan might have been audible. 19 HP, he falls back on top of the site. And they are approaching onto A. So, it's not only that Rops is getting no action, or in a position where there is normally no action and getting taken down, he also cannot flank, as I mentioned. That's what he likes to do in this map. He likes to force them onto the A ramp and contain the Ts, whether it's post-plant, ideally, before that even happens, which would be about now in this round. There's 36 seconds left on the clock, and they're only just approaching. Kerrigan does find Shush. Bomb goes down. Smoke still in play. Frozen wants to go up and above, but he needs to be careful on how he does so, because it leaves him open. Instead, though, it's Bubsky trying to get aggressive that gets caught out, and even though they get a bomb plant, Chris is already on the case.
Well, there we have it. It was actually a pretty clean round from mousesports in the end, only giving up that initial kill towards B in the form of Rops, but Kerrigan on the AWP. Strong as you like, manages to get a couple of influential frags upon entry, just as the bomb was going down as well. He was either sniper deck or boosted at the very back. Either way, he lands the shot, no problem, and that's going to be mousesports now kind of establishing some economy. They should have a bit of cash. They can start taking some risks here. Chris J apparently wanting to stay on the CZ after winning the previous round. Oh, there's the AK. It's been thrown over. And we'll see another bit of a force situation here from the boys on Mad Lions. A couple of pistols being brought to the forefront. We've got a CZ and a Deagle for Bubsky and Acor, respectively. 3 AKs apart from that. If Shush gets Robs in an opening frag again, like he's going to lose his mind. He keeps us walking up here and doming him. So a little bit more reserved this time. Nice smoke there from Bubsky. That's a cool one. Let's get yourself some window access.
Kerrigan, different angle this time to watch down the main ramp. No mistake on it. He finds Acor this time. AWP gone from the Ts. Kerrigan's going to immediately back off, and Chris J's got Bubsky, so a 2-man advantage, no trades so far, and Mad Lions finally running out of money. This is exactly what mousesports need to get back into the half, the game. Molotov, and the flash. Remember yesterday we saw the double flash on top of the Molotov in the back.
That's right.
Dren just sat there burned alive against Godsent. They are going to cross it over and get the bomb down toward default. No nades going in against it. Sometimes that is countered with grenades. Kerrigan actually goes all the way back toward heaven to try and see through and spot the ramp. And he can stay there. He's got 2 rifles up close. They can do the dirty work of trying to clear out the angles, but Hunden's going to hear them coming at this rate. Chris has slowed it down so as to go overlooked. Gets up on top of the girders. Hunden down to 1 HP. Tried to put damage back through the steel beam. It doesn't do enough, but he does hit the headshot. Chris easily should have put out that tool on the repeat. And a good spray from Roy, but it's not enough. Rops gets back in. And the Lions roar not enough for the mouse squeak as they get back to defuse the bomb.
There it is. The smoke was already down. The defuse is coming in. They got a couple of nice frags there, but mousesports had already won the round once the defuse began. But still, nice resilience there. Hunden on 1 HP still manages to steal away a kill. Every frag has a knock-on effect in Counter-Strike there. It will remove money or make things more difficult going forward. And it looks like a tactical timeout here, perhaps, as well. Let's take stock on what's happened so far. Mad Lions with a flying start. Looks fantastic, managing to win the pistol. Got a clean 3-0 start as well. Always going to be a necessity, I would say, in this particular matchup. If you let mousesports get a massive amount of momentum and cash built up, you're going to struggle to knock them down. So this is very good for Mad Lions. They're going to have to take the eco here, but looks of things, as they are looking down the barrel of around $3,000 per player. Not really enough to do much more than this, the Deagles, maybe a smoke or two. mousesports, though, with 3 AK-47s, AWP on Carrigan, not Voxic, and he's doing a great job towards A, so I guess why not keep it going.
Roy gets underneath the stairs to see if anyone will get aggressive. Again, we talked about how Rops likes to do that sometimes. Carrigan, third round in a row, he's going to find the early pick on the ramp. It's A-Core for the second of which, this time not quite as punishing, considering it doesn't have a gun to drop down, but certainly it's an advantage mousesports will welcome. Rops goes back to try and spot where we mentioned Shush was. Actually gets the angle. Roy's there's also still, but he's going to back away. Doesn't want to take that fight, or does he? I guess he's going to 1-5. He might as well go for it, and he's got the first AK on the ground. Can certainly make this costly. Switches to the AK. Chris is up close. Didn't quite get spotted on the first peek. Does this time. Doesn't matter. Chris makes no mistake to hit it with the M4. Actually ducked underneath the re-aim and reposition of his opponent.
Well, there we have it. Just the Deagles there. 4 Mad Lions. Carrigan opening things up with the AWP once again. But Christian closed them down. No bomb planted, but still money available here. Going to be going for assault rifles across the board. 3 AKs and 2 Kriegs. Most of their utility as well. Mad Lions have not really changed the pace up too much. There's been lots of defaults. They've had a couple of quick Bs if they get the initial picks, but we'll see if Chris J, oh my goodness, I love this movement. He'll sacrifice some HP, but the fact he gets towards that position so quickly, that's really cool. Doesn't work out for him, but it would have been great if that one found the opening frag. Decent spawn. I assume that's why he's got the AWP to give it a go. Voxic gets himself towards a ladder room.
See if anyone's going to push the other direction with it, but Voxic no rush at this point in time. Does present the opportunity to go for a fast flank. Roy staring to see if anyone will push up scaffolding. Remember, Voxic can hear a lot of that through the wall. Frozen and Kerrigan are actually going to go back. I think they want to lure them into Ward A at this point in time. They're trying to get them up the ramp. They're trying to actually force them a little further, because that means if they do go for the flank, they will be in a position where they can lock them in. So I'll have to clear out the backside of sandbags defensively. Normally we see the T's use a Molotov in that position to make sure that anyone sitting there when they walk up is taken care of. So obviously they are going very passive. They are going to nade toward the bomb. That was the plan. That's going to go through, do damage. In fact, it takes Hunden down. Bomb never even got planted. They sprayed in to find the early damage. That's a decent setup, but Shush and Bubsky have the other kills in return. So far, there's no containment. In fact, they've gone for a standard rotation. I was fully expecting the flank based on that play, but they elect to go for a straight retake, and so far, they've found the first onto Roy, but it's still a 3-on-3, 31 seconds on the bomb. Kits for 2 of 3. Chris J's the only one without one, and he's on the AWP. Watch for him to try and hold the angles as they go for it. Tapped already. A-Core's got Chris and Rops both down, and his positioning is very strong for this bomb.
Yeah, absolutely true. It's up to Frozen now, the AWP, but Shush will close things out there. It's a sandbag position. You can see it's quite nuanced, that spot. It's not just about swinging left and right. You can actually have different angles towards sniper deck. You can see the top of the heads near the bomb side as well. And you just need to kind of hedge your bet sometimes and try and remain calm. And that worked out very nicely indeed. It's going to be 7-5. Mad Lions pull one back after losing 3 rounds in a row. Money a little bit tight. You see the UMP out for Hunden, but that actually might be a blessing in disguise. There's 2 players with our helmets there. If he meets the right one, it's going to be a very powerful SMG. Big round here for mousesports. No AWP available for Carrigan this time. Do they want to change their mentality slightly? And I think they do. They're going to actually send 2 players a little bit more inquisitively towards this ramp. Does he want to go any further, though? That's the question. Looks good.
A couple quick shots back through this time. Still alive at this point. Usually Kerrigan's got him down. It's going to be Roy that he gets instead, but not without the expense of Chris J ahead of time. Nonetheless, they still have the man advantage. 7 rounds, Mad Lions. You still slightly lean toward T on Vertigo.
I think so, yeah. It really depends on the matchup and the play styles, I think, but I feel like most teams will be trying to post double digits at least on the T side. That's what they'll be happy with, I suppose. But a 4-3 for now, making their way back towards B. This is where Robs has been taken down a few times, but he's playing a little bit more passively in the last few rounds. You can see him just holding towards quad, and they have a few smokes and molotovs. They'll probably molotov towards the quad position, but Voxic there to at least get the opening frag. It looks like he's so ready for this one. The flashbang is decent and removing from his perch, but overall, Robs with a nice swing does open things up. There's the molotov towards quad. Needs to be careful now. One more tick will take him down. His teammate saves him with the smoke deployment. That's going to be Voxic removed. Remember, Rob's very low HP, 10 to be exact, and that's the B-bomb side open now. But the window, here it comes, very important frag, and Carrigan nails it. Now down to the 2 versus 1, we've got A-Core, no sniper in hand, but good as he's got the Krieg. If he ran all the way towards A right now, he's actually got access towards the site. Exactly what happens. He's got time to plant, and the CTs know it. But Frozen will be at the scene of the crime just as it goes down here. I like this idea. Unfortunately, won't be able to plant now, but still, decent effort.
Going to hold the plan, try and get the money in. He's gone at that point anyway. Does go down before the time, crucially. That's a bit of a risk. He could have run and gone for the plant, but he tries to cut off the rotation. The best he's going to get is put it into a one-on-one. There's still not enough time.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he would have been buggered regardless, because in that same sentiment, Frozen can sacrifice himself when the plant's coming in. He's going to take him down just as he finishes diffusers, but he would have got extra money, I suppose, but gave it his best shot. If he'd have found both of them in transition, maybe that would have worked out. Desert Eagles, P250s, that sort of thing. No armor, no nades. mousesports started to close the gap now. Get ourselves to the round number 14, Mad Lions, to save everything they've got for the final one. And you can see Bucksky's already made his way through. You could feel that was going to connect. It's a bit ridiculous, the shot, but Frozen just didn't see it coming. A chance for 2 kills. This is a full eco potential victory here, Matt. They've actually got full access to the A side, but Robson Voxic maybe arriving just in time. Voxic running behind the plant. He knows this is important. He goes down, but he finds the kill in response. Low HP breaker as well. Smoke starting to be deployed here, and only the Glock for Shush, but it could be enough for a kill. He's in a 2-on-1, finds the Krieg. A slight chance he wins this, but Voxic, too precise, too quick, takes him down, and a very successful eco there for Mad Lions, to be fair. An opening deagle shot, a Krieg to follow it up, and a bomb plant. There was a chance to win the rounds, but ultimately mousesports fend them off and still have a chance to win the half themselves.
We're going to pause just before the end. A pretty split decision so far. It's Dust2 that comes up next. We're following that by Nuke. Again, I'll say Inferno's the only map of the pool that I have not seen personally this weekend. Or week, I suppose I should say. Pretty back and forth affair, really, when you consider it as well, because money's it's been pretty fragile, but Mad Lions did have a decent surplus at the start of the half, and it took a little bit of time for mousesports to cut into it. Likewise, they won one, managed to save just enough money to buy again after having lost immediately after. So we've had a decent amount of gun rounds. I think we've had the money system long enough now that everyone's adjusted to it, whether or not they still prefer it over the old system.
Well, off we go then, final round. Chris J taking a little bit of a compromise with the UMP here in round 15, and this is going to be a fast attack towards A. You can see Akel's got the AWP this time, and the Molotovs, the smokes are being deployed. Frozen, he wants to challenge this. Good damage done. Roy's still alive and kicking, but maybe not for long here. They're trying to spam through the smoke. Seem to be aware of Frozen's tendencies here. They'll get that first kill. Hunden takes him down with a flashbang assist from Akel there. Carrigan back on the sniper. He's been landing some great shots today, but this is a high-pressure environment now.
Quick smoke out to hold Carrigan in position. Big box to play. He's got to swing around that with an AWP. If he does look this direction, though, that's where he wants to cut them off from. He gets Roy, but he can't get the bolt done in time. And Shush able to catch him out in return means the bomb should be going for a plant. Deep Molotovs meant Voxic had to go all the way back towards CT spawn. Just getting in position now, but this is exactly what we talked about from Robs. Finally, he gets a flank in position. Only good for 2 kills, but 2 kills that otherwise might have meant the round was not going in their favor. Now they have a chance at it. Shush and Hunden both sitting alive on 40, mid-40 HP, and they're going to spray in. Chris down, it's low HP for Voxic. All too easy at that point with the smoke on the bomb, and they'll win the half 8-7.
Great half, actually. Enjoyed that one. Had some tactical depth. You can see in-game leaders Carrigan and Hunden locking horns here. Hunden with that B punish at the start of the half, knowing the utility, the money was low there after they kept taking Robs down again and again. But once things started to stabilize, you saw Carrigan's orb come out. He actually looked very solid overall. Didn't see too much presence towards middle, not many backstabs towards the CT spawn area like we saw Godsend presenting yesterday. But it's more of a classic game. Defaults into A executions or a faster B play. Carrigan now to swap over, and he'll be controlling the terrorist forces. Big pistol here. It was Mad Lions that picked up the first half. Got a 3-0 start. Can mousesports replicate it? Quickly up towards short here. Chris wants to go through the smoke, it seems. No problem.
Acor waiting as well with the USP. Voxic in position already to plant, so a 5-on-5 post-plant situation in the pistol.
Yeah, you don't see many of those.
No, but naturally it does mean they must have a plan for the retake, you'd expect. So far, though, they haven't got any forward momentum at all because the smokes are still down. Voxic's still on top of the ball, and they'll get the headshot onto him. Hunden, to do so, has the kit, keep in mind. So he's playing close to the bomb. Even if he drops, they'll be able to pick that up. He's going to get on at the smoke. They're going to get away with this. There's nothing they can do. Roy's got the only kill they needed. Rops is on a flank. It's already over, and he's down. Insult to injury.
That's kind of insane. If you get the bomb down with no kills being exchanged, it suggests you've called the perfect strategy to get yourself in an amazing position. If it finishes, though, with 0 kills found, all you can really say is respect to Mad Lions at that point. You're right, they must have been playing with a retake mentality because they didn't miss a single shot after that. Everything connects, and yes, the bomb goes down, but no kills found makes the buy in the second a little bit more troublesome. And that's why they've taken a partial instead. If they got like 2 or 3 kills there, you would have seen AKs and Kriegs, but ultimately now this is a better call, I think. And here are the odds provided by GG.bet. You can see Mad Lions actually the favorite still.
They're ahead by 2 rounds. Those are live updates. It's pretty even. I think that makes sense. Surprisingly, though, that it is that far, like, it is that even, period, because mousesports are, on paper, absolutely the better team. I won't say the better team, but certainly the team you'd expect to win.
Well, yeah, they're a top 5 team, right? So, like, mousesports in comparison to Mad Lions, who I think are 16th right now. So, yeah, I think that's fair to say. We'll see the commitment through the bridge. Maybe a little bit too much of one from there from Carrigan, but he wanted to see if he can pounce on the CTs and take advantage, but it goes back to a 3-on-3. And Chris J spots a hole potentially here, going to be pushing his way up towards the B steps, but Shush has a rifle. Doesn't connect on the first shot here, but I don't think they have helmets, at least from Chris J, so he will go down quickly. Frozen responds in kind. 2-on-2, bomb to be planted. Babsky though, he should be able to find his first kill. Not the cleanest so far, but that's not too bad. 1-on-1 though. Acor. B steps, HP relatively the same, and I feel like the MP9 should be able to close things out here, but spots the head. It's a tiny one, and this point it's going to be much more difficult for the CT retaking. 3 kills already for Frozen.
Acor, though, has him down instead. And that means the defuse comes through. It's going to be 10-7. A close round, all things considered. But it's still going to be Mad Lions stepping ahead. And I did predict today we were going to have 3-map series. I think that Mad Lions are certainly saying that that is a possibility. Heck, I won't rule out the fact that they could even win this 2-0, but we'll have to wait and see if mousesports have a response here before we even move on.
Well, mousesports didn't fully invest into this previous round. They just went Deagle armor, and they got another plant down. So it gives them a nice strong buy here, and they got 4 kills as well. So that actually went pretty good at all things considered. You can see a really healthy buy coming into round 18 here. AKs, Kriegs up against MP9s for masses. Sure, there's an AWP out. Acor will have to kind of step up, I think. He needs to go for an initial pick towards the A round. He'll do that from scaffolding.
So watch the bottom of the elevators. See if they actually push up. Kerrigan's on the inside of the smoke, so he's actually bypassed the AWP. Acor's made his presence known, but Kerrigan, he can't tunnel onto that. He knows he's going to want to retreat at some point in time, but there's another person he has to worry about, and Roy, running back, gave that away. Kerrigan's locked himself in now. Oh, okay, that's a bold decision. I was going to say, once he opens that first kill, he could turn back to catch off Acor, but instead he sticks around and gets the rotation as well. This is still not an easy situation to be in because the Opper, Acor, has found a kill as well and a way out, and Kerrigan suddenly becomes the prey.
Well, the bomb gets dropped to the bottom of the A ramp as well. So Acor has slowed things right down. Sure, Kerrigan, he found a gap, but he has to go all the way back now and pick the bomb up, and Acor can reposition. They've lost track of each other. Good smoke down. He can focus towards the ramp itself at this point. Kerrigan surely going to go down for a flick. That's a nice shot from Acor. He doesn't miss many. And another clean round. Lovely stuff from Mad Lions here. 3 players survive. They open things up with MP9, funnel them towards A. Kerrigan, with those 2 picks, you'd think there was a good chance there, but the bomb goes down and it all falls apart. They'll take a tactical timeout now to work out what the move is going forward. They can't really buy here. They will have a very big amount of loss bonus going forward. They'll get a decent buy next round. They could partially buy into this one. I would say Deagle armor with 1 player on an AK, like Frozen gets AK armor. That would be my call at this point, considering he's got 4,200, but we'll see what they've got in mind.
So far, not much to indicate what they want to go for. You're right, they could easily bring out Frozen a little more weaponry, but they're going to level themselves in terms of economy and stay with just the pistols.
So just the one smoke, a flash as well.
So this will be, if they aren't successful, a 5th round bonus. So you'll get $3,400 on top of what they currently have. If they get the bomb plants, they'll be in a very good position. If they get the win, it'll be even better than that. Push through the smoke. Aggressive from Kerrigan again. He's absolutely taking no prisoners toward the ramp, but unfortunately the Warden was a little more aware this time of his escape plan, so gets caught out, dropped. Frozen's gonna have to work in the same direction, but with limited HP, he's already down to 53. And it's Roy that waits with an M4 on the other side. Headshot angle already covered off that slight gap in the support rails of the crane. Also a bit tricky to walk around and try and spot him in return, and Chris already has Bubsky down. That's at least some opening, but Roy's going to hold his nerve. Still working toward the ramp, gets the first, can swing wide. That's exactly the problem. It has so much control of the ramp and that angle just by sitting here, even with an M4. Chris has picked up one of his own, but it's a 1-on-3. 55 HP, does have head armor, doesn't matter against AKs, and Hunden shows us why.
Great round once again. Roy is looking sharp today. No slow start for him. 12-7 for Mad Lions. mousesports on the partial buy previously. Normally so good with the Deagles, but after losing both pistols now and the follow-up rounds, they're 4-0 down in the second half. 12-7 overall. And here's the replays where Kerrigan actually made his way on towards that A side, but this was the key frag. Akel gets that bomb down. Not really much Kerrigan can do, and as I mentioned, he doesn't miss too many AWP shots. You give him an inch, he'll take a mile. All being brought out for Hunden. As we'll see the deep smoke deployed, Akel can't really see through it, but he can spot the players jumping up towards scaffolding. Bubsky to open things up again. Will be traded out at least. Frozen desperately trying to connect with that AK-47 spray.
Not seeing a lot toward B and all of that. A little bit at the stairs, but considering there was 3 CTs pushed up the ramp, you'd think that they'd try and exploit that a little further. They are going back there now, but the CTs have time to reset as well, and there is a player certainly inside of the site and at the ready. Set smoke from Chris. Foxic will complement that with a Molotov that goes on to default and quad. Let's actually go for the deeper of the two. Rops is trying to find space on the map, but it's so difficult at this point in time. Even down just one man in the CTs, you control again, it's headshot angles when you come up these stairwells. It's difficult to find a position that's safe. And Chris is going to try and do that right now with a Krieg. At least it's that weapon because it gives him a massive advantage in taking these fights and these duels. But look how patient Roy's being again. Excuse me, rather, shush. Doesn't want to give anything away.
Yeah, well, they've got the 4-on-3 right now. Just trying to whittle the clock down if possible. If he gets that first pick, it's going to buy some time, and even more with the second. Excellent work here from Mad Lions. They're not really missing any shots at all. The Krieg's looking calm. Rops with a great kill towards middle, but I don't think it'll help him win the round. Shush is already repositioned. Has to be 13-7 as well. Money broken once again for the mousesports.
And you're absolutely right. 30 seconds left. If there's 50 seconds to a minute, he probably has to be a little more aggressive. He wants to get the kills. He can't give them the sight because there's time to do something with it. 30 seconds, he goes passive. He knows if they're coming toward him, he's going to catch them off by being so sneaky and sly, and they have to commit. So if he gets one kill in that situation, he's already strengthened the retake.
And they're under pressure. They can't be as efficient as they'd like to be. They don't have the utility anymore. They can't check every single angle, and he's going to get at least one for that. He does very well to get two. And this is what we wanted to see. So Frozen has gone for a bit of a hero purchase this time. He's the player you want to be stepping up these sort of ideas, so he's gone for the Galil, while his teammates partially buy with Desert Eagles. Akel, though, actually opening things up again. Said that about 5 times now with the AWP. 5-on-4, and that's a bit of an overcommitment there, but still, it's still a 4-on-4 up against what should just be Deagles, and now a Krieg apparently as they find that. Voxic's going to be wielding that weapon. 13-7 here, big round. If mousesports can pull this one back, they can certainly get themselves back into the game as well. But Chris now looking towards that gap in the smoke at short. What's the play here? They've got one smoke, one flash. Akel with a pretty committed position here considering he's got the AWP. Does he get traded out? Apparently not. Nice moves.
Akel not successful in trying to find the shot towards scaffolding, but ultimately at this point it doesn't matter. It's just Voxic left at a 1-on-4, and they have the information where he is. 14-7 for Mad Lions, and they are unbeatable so far on this defensive side. 6 rounds in a row. We were saying T-side's arguably the better on Vertigo. Well, mousesports have showing a lack of depth perhaps on it.
Yeah, we haven't seen, like, Mad Lions were dropping those wall of smoke executions towards A, every single gun round pretty much. They had variations
to be fair, there's been a lot more aggression from guys like A-Core.
Yeah.
So Kerrigan has been in a battle almost immediately every time he goes to the ramp. But yes, I see your point.
Yeah.
Even when they've had it, they haven't gone for those.
That's kind of encapsulates the problem, though, right? The fact that mousesports are allowing a team like Mad Lions to fully execute. We said this throughout. Oh, they're doing a run booster or something. What's happening here? I don't know. This always makes me anxious. What's happening?
Okay, that's actually pretty cool.
I haven't seen that. I'll be honest with you. That is kind of sick. There's no run boost. It's actually going to legit deceive towards the catwalk.
Pretty situational, but yeah, so if you put pressure on the front of the site right now and force Shish into that position with utility, or if he wants to play a different angle and you hit it, that's perfect. Problem is they're not really doing anything right now to complement that. They're just kind of hoping someone's going to walk there.
Yeah, you're right there.
Which, to be fair, can happen, don't get me wrong, and that's great if it does, but I feel like you could actually use that to complement a take.
Kerrigan's trying now, at least. He's thrown a Molotov towards quad. He's smoked the site as well, and he's just going to try and leave the catwalk as the only viable position to get some information and see whether that'll work out. Here comes the rotation now. So they're still waiting. This is the chance. This is what it all is about.
Got it.
And it works. There you go.
I love it. That's creativity. So it does pay off. It's a great idea either way. It is very situational. It's not going to work every single time, but it's nice to see it work for the first time that it's been brought to the big screen as Kerrigan pushes through. That actually makes it easier. He's already on the precipice. One man down on the site. They have to be in transition. And now look how deep he can go while he waits for his teammates to get in position at B as well. He is ready to cut off for Roy. So you just mentioned we haven't seen any executions. Well, here's a whole new one for you.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a world first. I haven't casted a bunch of Vertigo, but for me,
you play a lot of it, though.
Play a lot of it.
You and Chad are, you're like Office Globals, you're Vertigo Globals. Yeah, Vertigo Globals. I like that.
Yeah, and I don't know. I've not seen that in Pro Play. It's a really cool idea. Like you said, though, it's really situational. You do need to sell it a little bit towards B, dropping smokes and everywhere but the quad positions so they get a little bit inquisitive. But that was a cool kill, and then Kerrigan managed to follow things up as well. I don't even know what you'd call at that point. It's just like, he's got me from T-spawn, I think.
Yeah. top mid stairs.
Yeah. But that's going to be mousesports who a much-needed round. They had to drop some of the major strats there, I think, just to get themselves out of this sticky situation.
Yeah, that is a major strat, right?
That
is one of the ones that you could argue saving for the major, right? Pull it out last minute. I hate it when that was the whole meme, but there are it's obviously your defaults, your executions, your set pieces. You're not going to save necessarily those, but whenever you've got something really tricky that's not been seen, those are the ones you do want to sit on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let me know on Twitter if you've seen that one before and if it's been done. If not, we'll get it on Reddit, I guess. There's the old coach of mousesports, Regin. We'll see whether this tactical timeout will get mousesports into a more promising situation. Down but not out. A tenacious team can certainly batter the way back into Vertigo, but it's a tall order considering the scoreline. Kerrigan discussing their options now. They've had some wonderful comebacks in the last few months. 14-8. Mad Lions not wanting to give in just yet. They want to find that 15th round and sabotage the mousesports finances as well. Good chance to do it, but not the most ideal weaponry. A couple of FAMASs in there. Okay utility and an A-Core orb, which is worth its weight in gold at this tournament, it seems.
Voxic ready to see if anyone will peek down. We talked about this drywall positioning a few times yesterday. You can boost on it as well to see above smoke, but that pretty much only limits you to seeing and having vision toward the sandbag, so it would have to be a pretty aggressive peek from a CT. Not uncommon. Oh, that's good timing. Or poor timing for Shush, depending on how you want to look at it. He's managed to keep himself alive in that situation. Caught nearly with utility in hand, fully blind, runs back, and somehow gets enough aim and, I guess, composure, if you want to call it anything at that point, to get the kill in return and actually give his team a chance. They stay one man to the good on the retake, but that's changed. Chris J through the smoke is able to take Bubsky down. Shush is still, absolutely feeling the pain, and now he is gone. Chris 2 through smoke. Good lineup, good anticipation. Pretty straightforward. They're going to be back there somewhere. You might as well chance firing through with an AK on rotation. Just do some damage and a kill to boot. So that's perfect, as now we start to see mousesports stabilize. They get 2 in a row. Gotta keep the money good, though. And unfortunately, Rob's going down. Acor's done well with the AWP.
He has done well there. I guess it is worth a hunt to get the AWP out of his hands, but their money's not really established themselves. Need to be very careful here. They are fragile. But a good round from mousesports here. Looking for that second in a row. Confirmed now the explosion. And it will be Roy and Acor to save the weaponry at least. Got a decent amount of kit as well to go with it, with some flashes and smokes. Peacemaker there behind them. Can see the temperament shift a little bit there now on the Madeline side.
It has hit Reddit now, so there you go. That's one of the fears of saving a strat. If you do it, that's fine, but if it hits the masses, then it's no longer.
Is it on Reddit already?
It's on Reddit. It's on the new section.
Okay, so it was probably up first there. Okay.
It's already upvoted a tremendous amount of times. Probably not that many, but enough. It will be seen.
If they come back and win the game off that, and that's the way it started, that'll be pretty historic.
Pretty sick, yeah, absolutely. Still have to consider the fact that Acor does have a CT side at AWP, and he goes for the drop at B. We saw James do that play 2 days ago, maybe 3 at this point. But he went alone. He didn't have someone to support the secondary angle and actually re-peek for him. This time he doesn't need it. He gets the kill, but that was a team play. That was a team effort to get him in that position, and he follows it up with an additional kill, trying to juggle a gun over closer to his teammates and closer to the site for when they are needed on A, and it's a 3-on-3. They've got 2 Kriegs picked up. They don't have armor. I shouldn't say that. Roy does. Shush doesn't. But they have a reasonable chance. With 1:04, mousesports forced to slow things down. And Roy's in a good boost. In fact, they're doubling that up in heaven, and they'll see above the smoke to see the ramp at that point in time should they go for the execution. There's no, well, there's one, but there's not enough utility to really look for a set piece, so it's going to have to be picks, and that's what Kerrigan gets, finding Roy first.
Nice angle to hold there as well. 3-on-2. Acor's still alive. 2 kills to his name so far, but the HP is low. Not sure what he's hoping to do with the smoke here, unless he's going for a quick defuse. AWP taking vision away from himself. Oh, I like the idea. Going to go for the no-scope on the side there. Volts up. Unfortunately, though, leaving Shush in a pretty difficult scenario, but he's done very well so far. Looking for the third. Kerrigan will remove him, but still, that was very close indeed. Good effort.
Considering that started with an op and 1 rifle carried over, a pretty bold play to get down to the bottom side of the B stairs. They made that a 1-on-1. Yeah, that's and that would have been map point. That would have been huge.
That was a hollow victory there for mousesports. They know implications are attached to that. 4 players going down in what seemed to be a very healthy round towards the end. The smoke leaves mousesports disjointed. The AWP going in for the no-scope didn't work out, but the Krieg found a bit of wiggle room, and we're going for the same boost again in T-spawn here. You have to be very careful. No one wants to fall off the edge of that. We'll have a look as to whether Robs can get vision once more. Back in T-spawn, back on the catwalk, and we might have a chance here again, please. Let's do it. Let's do it once more.
Ski. Tough position, but he's going to go hunting. He's actually done more damage on a Kerrigan, and he's going to lock him with good smoke. You're right, he does. I'm surprised that spread that fast. That was very well thrown.
Yeah.
So back to 4-on-4. Good response from the CTs to take the fight and force the situation back in their favor. Acor still trying. Okay, that's flame damage on Bubsky.
Yeah.
That's first off, it's his teammate, but I just saw the red come up when the shot came through. I was like, whoa, hang on, no way that hit, but it didn't. That's exactly the angle we talked about without the boost. So straight peek that time, rifle against top as well. That's a bit of a risk, but it does catch Acor off. There's minor damage. Moxic's got Hund into trade off of Rops going down. Bubsky now holding from windows, going to smoke himself back in. Flash over, drops down, and fully blind is Chris. Dropped already. They're still on the stairs, which means he has a headshot angle on repeat, but Frozen was ready for the fight.
This is a scrappy round. I like it. 30 seconds remaining, 2-on-2. Smoke's available for the T side, and the CT's actually pretty far away. A missed shot from Acor there enables him to get in towards B, but Roy ready and waiting. He has been excellent in this tournament, down to the 1-versus-1 now. AWP in the hands of Acor, bomb to be planted. No kit available, but you feel like they nailed this shot. Not going to happen just yet, but now they know exactly where each other are.
Acor to work closer. Frozen's done the same. You'd favor the rifle at this angle and position, but man, oh man, you never know with a no-scope. And the speed and grace that Acor's had this game, that's a big round, and they know it. They know they're getting under under Mad Lions now as Mouse Sports continue. I think that's 4, maybe 5 in a row. Another one-on-one, and I do want to point out, the railings on Catwalk can be very misleading for an opper in a situation like that. You could see, because the bodies kind of bend and conform to them, so you sometimes get headshots sticking up. I thought he was actually going to fire at the body behind Frozen in that situation. That would have been a dead giveaway, so...
Oh my goodness,
tough to read.
They are getting fired up, aren't they, Mouse Sports? You can hear them right next to us, just starting to wake up now, starting to feel themselves, and they've dropped an absolute nuke there towards Middle London, down to 12 HP. Acor takes 40 damage as well. So they know they're up against pretty much nothing here. Some Desert Eagles, no armor. Mouse Sports with 4 rounds in a row. It means maximum loss bonus for the Mad Lions into the next round. You would think they'd invest maybe a little bit more into this one, but taking themselves down to Desert Eagles at least. Absolutely fine. Might be able to running a double orb setup. We've seen it a couple of times this tournament on Vertigo. Carrigan making his way out the round, needs to be very careful.
May not even need it. Roy's already got the first kill, but they've gone for the corner boost to see over top of the wooden wall.
Oof, this is not the one you want to give away. A little bit sloppy there from Carrigan.
He's been caught on ramp a few times. Go back to the start of the half. I think he was killed 3-4 rounds in a row on the ramp.
Yeah, that is free as you like as well. It's not like you needed a great shot or good aim if he's gifted that one away. Oh, this could be another. Acor's got behind Robs potentially. If he looks down now, he
knows it. Double dink. I was going to say the head armor might save him, but not with patience like that from Acor. Down 2 men already, and they know that he's toward ramp.
Everyone's here.
You're right. They're going to rotate around. They have the information because they're setting up smokes outside of mid. They have to be going toward B. Vox. It kills everybody all lined up at once with the AK, and that's the saving grace. It is onto Acor. He has picked up the AK-47. When he took down Rops, that was easily available to him, but he's got 60 HP, no kit, no utility, no armor. Very tough ask for him at this point in time. He's even going to try and use a little trick to see through the bottom of the floor, just in case he can get a kill before arriving, but no one's going to give him that chance. They know he was the one to kill Rops too, so they know he's likely to come from this position.
Crisis averted at least. That was the initial kill given away for free towards the A ramp, and then T-spawn. Rops was trying to line up the smoke for first Jenny, I believe. And at that point, once he throws the smoke, obviously it has the sound cue, the nade being pulled. So, of course, Acor's going to hear him, hits 2 lovely shots to the USP. You're right, though. Those kind of shots normally do fall apart unless you get the double ding straight away. You can miss those shots, and it can go awry very quickly. But overall, it will be able to save the AK. A very solid effort there. But now the scoreline really closing somewhat. 14-12. Mouse Sports managed to avoid a disastrous situation there. That would have been a gut punch to them at this point after having such a good comeback here.
Let's see what the response is. Timeout certainly needed. The bigger part of this comeback, having 5 rounds in a row, is that they've limited them from getting onto map points. So they're at this point, they can still play for the win, let alone overtime. But it also means, conversely, if they do miss 1 round, they've built up enough of an economy. They're starting to get momentum. They can still have a chance back into it. Rops is low on money, mind you. So is Kerrigan. He's gone on the round as well. Roy and Acor, the 2 that started out the last round, start this one the same way. Although Bubsky's going to add to it, and massive damage done. Roy comes back around flawless from Mad Lions. They are absolutely dominating the A ramp at this point.
Yeah, they really are. That's an impressive finish from them. We'll see whether there's anything to be said. It's going to be the 15th round, pretty much guaranteed at this point for Rops.
I think an elevator mid-split onto A might be the way to go at this point. You've got to get something going on to control the backside of A to force them off those angles because they're not getting anywhere near the ramp. B's worked out a few times. Certainly with that execution we saw that boost, but I think if you can get the defense moving, it might be better off. That's pretty cool. He's just listening to where he is, firing down below. Not bad.
All right, then. That's going to be map point. Timeout called from Peacemaker there. Just going to talk about how to get one of the most difficult rounds of Counter-Strike, number 16. Especially against a team like mousesports as well. They're always so difficult to take down, whatever weapon they've got. And they're more than capable of finding 3 rounds in a row. So a chance for both teams to discuss their options. Money, I think, is okay on the mousesports side. They had about 6K on 2 players, I believe, and then a few of them are on 2,000. So they'll have to distribute the wealth accordingly. But there should be 5 rifles out. Carrigan relaying the information to his teammates. That's what he wants to see. Last round didn't really go in their favor at all. Challenge at the A ramp, completely blown out the water. One more round for Mad Lions here. Semi-final, best of three. It's the first map, the pick of the Danes. See if this is where they can close things out. They should have the advantage overall. There should be some compromises on the mousesports side. So yes, Desert Eagle for Carrigan. Get Lil for Frozen. He's very good at that weapon, to be fair.
Toxic back toward the top of the ladder. He's limited in. A lot of spam through the very thin drywall in that situation. We saw yesterday James was holding this position with an off. We talked about the power that it has. AK doesn't quite have the same one-hit wonder potential. Doesn't have the headshot reach, that's for sure. But it's not the same. It's not that you can fall off and control. And that was a misstep. The reload from one leaves the other wide open. Rops comes in and takes them both out. They did not communicate that situation well at all.
Well, this is a good chance now, but that's going to be Carrigan going down. Shush has been incredibly strong today. Good reactive play there as well. Brings it back to a winnable scenario of Robson. Just 7 points of health as well after his great campaign towards middle. When you have those advantages, it's really not ideal. One player going in and committing by themselves. There's so much time available as well, but still the advantage for mousesports here. They have no smokes. Flashes, sure, one incendiary, but going towards B with no smokes at all is always going to be a little bit difficult. Acor patrolling towards middle. Contact playing towards B. There's the one flash over, and no CTs there at all. I feel this is a gamble stack from the Mad Lions. If it does go down towards B, they'll save what they can.
That's the case at this point in time. Frozen even clearing just to make sure that no one was sitting back at quad and would catch them off. It's where the kill came in against Carrigan, so they're certainly aware that that was a possibility. We're on the way out. You're right. This is a pretty fast call. Round one, and they can't afford to just give away all their money because we're going to go to 15-13, maybe 14 if that was the case. And then, like I say, we are playing for overtime at this point in time. mousesports certainly can make that possible. What a slow start to the half. Such a fast turn as well.
It all started with that boost. Skull got them on the board. They were actually, I think, was it 5-0 down or 6-0 down in the second half? The boost comes in. It starts a landslide of rounds. They've given one up since. Just a couple more to go to get to overtime. Certainly possible, but that's why Mad Lions have chosen to save the weaponry they had. They did not want to be in eco territory here. They want to have the AWP up, a couple of rifles, give themselves a fighting chance to avoid overtime if possible. It's a stressful environment now. The pressure's on them. AWP still there, 4 and 4s. A Krieg as well, actually. So, always going to be powerful on the CT side of Vertigo as mousesports. They're slowing things right down again.
Frozen with a flash through smoke, wants to try and push Roy. Is the one on the other side. It doesn't quite go far enough to catch him. But again, look at the aggression from the CTs. Continuing to push on the ramp. Acor, this is the hole we talked about. This is what's more standard with the AWP in this position. They don't need to rely on a headshot from what was the AKs on the CT side. And I can understand why they wanted to push up. They had AKs. Why not try and take those duels, hold those angles? But it wasn't executed correctly at all. This time it's much better. Hunden baited in by the AWP. He finds both. 3 men left, and they've won the first map, but it's not an easy task, as we've seen. mousesports continuing to fight back, and Carrigan does exactly that to find Shush. Bubsky's lost inside smoke, but that means he's also lost to his enemy, and he's going to pop out to surprise Carrigan. Bomb's not in position, and Bubsky, an additional incendiary, is going to force them wide. Hunden through the window, and this one looks to be done. Frozen in a 1-on-4. He's got the first on Bubsky. It would be a heck of a clutch to try and keep this alive.
Yeah.
It's not done. He knows Hunden's outside the window, but he's completely surrounded. And if he fires one way, Hunden's going to push in. Good bait, but that means Acor can re-peek. And it's Mad Lions taking first blood in this series. Well done for the underdogs.
Absolutely. Their map pick and a map that mousesports are very good on.